Good evening, guys. It is I, the petrifying Nordic nerd Paltrax, and today I just wanted to talk about MMOs for PC and when we used to buy boxes for them with the discs and all that kind of stuff. That was an interesting time, because we won't do that anymore. Because it's mostly kind of pointless. Because I mean, arguably it was pointless then too. Because I mean, without the connection, you don't really have anything to play anyway. You needed a connection, you need that there are servers. If the servers go down, you ain't got no game, right? So obviously down the line when the servers go off, you just have a very nice coaster, right? That's kind of all you got. Unless you're a weirdo collector like me. So now I'm just kind of take you to like my collection. It's not a lot. It's a few. Sort of my history of with that stuff. Some will be missing because I did sort of play them much later. Um, so I did just get like the client off of Steam or something to try out. And of course, like I would have probably gone back to get the box just for the collectible aspect of it, but assuming if I really liked it or not. Another one would be WoW. It probably would have been a smaller addition to the stack here if I would include WoW. Because I have up until including what? World of Draenor. But like I feel I just want to erase WoW from my gaming history because it just annoyed me so much over the years. Just my opinion, okay? Like let's just start. The first one would be Lord of the Rings Online. This is the game that I'm actually playing. So that's the one that I am subscribed to. That's for sort of the community that I'm part of. Like I'm actually like invested in this specific game. This is obviously like one of those like quote unquote WoW clones as they were referred to back then. So tab target and sort of quest to kill 10 bears and bring me back their tails or whatever the fuck. Use item on things, that kind of stuff. Like it's whatever, right? But yeah, like I mean, big, relatively thick box, thick, and your Velcro lock. Nice. So you have some of the races, right? Dwarves, men. Fuck. Dang, it was really stupid. Men, dwarves, and elves, which are kind of the basic one. Also, the Hobbit. Obviously, since then, they would have to add like high elves and the stout axe dwarf. Bjorning isn't here. And eventually, when river hobbits would come in, but obviously, this is sort of at launch, Shadows of Agmar. That was the Lord of the Rings as of 2007, I think, right? Before any expansions. So, like, I mean, yeah. So clearly, I don't mind the cartoony graphics or the tab target stuff. Like, I'm a bit old school in that regard, but I show you all the other underlying stuff that I'm. Because MMOs are kind of special, right, in that sense. Like, they're not gonna grow, they're not gonna change drastically anyway, graphically or whatever. Like, they're gonna be almost like a time capsule of like the couple of years that they were released. Unless you're gonna spend like crazy amount of money to try to update it, and that is gonna have varying results. Cataclysm. That's all I'm gonna say. Next one is kind of the sequel to one of the OGs in the 3D MMOs at least. That being EverQuest 2. I played actually very little of this, but I did play it. This is a copy I bought off eBay. So I have the you can download this, which what I did. Download the client off of their website. So this is simply a collector's item, which kind of most of these are at this point. This of course has, as I say, limited edition, right? So you can just fucking open. That being they include a cloth map. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I mean not really a map, but sort of a. Oof, that smell is odd. Fuck. But they used to smell like basement. Like my grandma's basement. If you know, you know. It is more, I guess, advertisements for keyboards and overlays and all that kind of stuff. Which again, I mean, EverQuest was supposed to be this big thing, and it just wasn't, because WoW just murdered it completely. Just like, because they can just work better, run on everything, easy to get into, and just it has a pre-established fan base because of the Warcraft stuff. So it's just black and white. This is just sad to look at, but like, look at this. There's actually quite a bit of thickness to it. And of course the discs, and obviously published and made by SOE. It was only online entertainment, which technically doesn't exist anymore. The company does exist anymore. It's just under a different name. A lot of the management got changed. Sony is no longer involved. So yeah, but like I say, this is just a thick box, which will be on my shelves for the foreseeable future. This disc rot potentially and all that kind of stuff is irrelevant, because it is the sort of more like the memories of this thing that was supposed to be this big thing, and then the newcomer just pimp slapped them across the universe. Sad. Next one in the stack is The Secret World. A Funcom game. It says EA here as well, but EA didn't have that much to do with it. This is realistically speaking, this is a Funcom game. Tried and true. The Secret World technically doesn't exist anymore. There's now Secret World Legends. The legacy version is actually playable. There's some jiggery pokery that you have to do with your client, but it's totally doable. I think they even will tell you how to do it as well. So there's 2 discs there, like colored manual. That's kind of cool in my opinion. You don't see that too much anymore. But yeah. Also, again, it didn't quite do what it hoped to do. The modern day. There were no classes, no levels, all that kind of stuff. It was very hard to sell, I think, to an MMO audience, even though they keep telling you, hey, we want something new, but not that new, I guess. This is all based on myths and legends. Everything is true, all that kind of stuff. That was sort of their whole thing. So myths, legend, and conspiracies. But yeah. Yeah. I do still play this from time to time. That would be the Legends version, of course. But now it's, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. That whole thing is just weird, because it's just like people that really love this game wants content, but like, I mean, how many people do you think actually play the game and then retract and subtract the people that actually are spending money on it? I'm just being honest there, like, sort of like, how much do you think they need to like actually like make content like dungeons and quests? And they apparently painted themselves into a bit of a corner with this game, because content is hard to do and it's really expensive, time consuming and such. Just not ideal. Yeah, it just isn't. Of course, we got some spin-off games from this, though. The Park, Moons of Madness, and Hide and Shriek. Those are all based in this universe. I mean, The Park is a good Halloween game. Very short, but like it was made in like 6 months. Like, what do you expect? Yeah. That's that. Next one would be Guild Wars Dose. Did also play this. Not for very long. This was, I mean, I'm sure people still play this and think it's like the shit. I just didn't agree. It had all this hype, so yeah, action combat, and the class is going to be different, and it's sort of like a buy to play a game. Whatever the fuck that means anymore. has gotten some bit more meaning later, because that's what ESO was doing. I think you buy the game and then the sub is optional, but it's got a store too, so and it gets expansions every now and then. The box is pretty basic though, like just a disc, and then disc 2 is in here, like white box. Maybe I'll play this again one time, but I don't know. I just didn't really dig it. Didn't quite gel with me, as it were. Yeah, this was like supposed to be the the WoW killer. Yeah, another one. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Now one of those new big ones that everyone's playing. Final Fantasy 14. This is sort of the starter edition. Because even at that point, I wasn't quite sure if I was gonna play it for a long time. So I got my 30 days of time, and I never came back. That's the honest truth of it. I just never came back. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But I bet if you like Final Fantasy, you're probably gonna dig it. I just didn't. Oh my god, there's a code there that I definitely have used. Too bad. Oh, did I just drop two? Yeah, of course I did. Stacking discs, that's awesome, you guys. Keep doing that. Sarcasm. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I even got anywhere close to anywhere. It's fine, but gonna just get it off Steam if you would wanted to, or maybe just the you know what I mean. Another Funcom game, Age of Conan. This was special to me. Age of Conan came out in 2008, I think in May, which was around my 18th birthday. So I was kind of ready for this is gonna be all mature and whatnot. I mean, mature in the sense of blood and gore and naked people and language and all that kind of nonsense. That probably very exciting for like a teenager, right? When you're older, you're sort of like, yeah, it's cool, but a man needs more than that. Live, fight, explore. Get ready for the Age of Conan, the most savage, sexy, and brutal MMO ever created. It is, of course, still operational. Essentially, it is in maintenance mode, I think. But then also kind of not. And it's just, definitions tend to be kind of floaty. Yeah, there's a full colored manual. That's awesome. All the classes and whatnot. But yeah. Made by Paradox, or published, not published, but sort of by at this time I think Paradox owned it, or just owned the game rights to it. They don't anymore. Currently, Funcom owns Conan in its entirety, by sort of subsidiary, but then Tencent actually owns Funcom, so actually Tencent own, it's a corporate nonsense, Yeah, that's kind of it for now, right? I would, of course, like I say, added WoW through through VOD, but that's in limbo as if I want to actually even display it in my collection, because I'm not terribly fond of it. And also some highlights of some couple of more, right? Just being some expansions to jokona, Rise of the Godslayer. This was awesome. Really, I mean, it's like 2 discs and everything. Yeah, this game just wasn't. This was like bad for Funcom entirely. Just a lot of money spent. They didn't go the way they wanted to. That's really sad. Cause didn't get the person that they wanted. I think after this they cut like a shit ton of their manpower. Like they fired like a lot of people after Rise of the Godslayer. I think that was when it was. So like the Secret World as well. Like Funcom is not close to what they used to be, sort of actual size. So bigger moves like this in the future is probably unlikely. I say that with the event of what they're doing is in production now. The new setup. But that's kind of more like Conan Exiles, which is not really a massively multiplayer thing. It's kind of something else. I also own the first expansion to Lord of the Rings Online, meaning Mines of Moria, which is an excellent expansion in my opinion. I did it, Turbine. That's what kind of fun with the boxes because they're printed, so logos don't kind of get deleted. All right, but yeah, Turbine. I don't think it's actually a thing anymore. Lotro is now managed by SSG, which is about the same people that you kind of just spun on through all the thing. But yeah, addition to master 2 new classes. Typical sort of expansion stuff, they add a couple classes, add sort of a new system with the legendary items, which recently got a massive sort of redo. Of course, you just continue the story and rise to the challenge to do Volume 2, Mines of Moria. I'm not sure if they went further than this with physical expansions. Mirkwood was not physical, I don't think. So maybe after that they kind of stopped. Because like this, no one does this anymore. Because everyone sort of realizes that physical is probably on its way out. A PC is damn near useless, completely useless, unless you're a collector like me. And some few others. Added on top of that is those are online only games. You can't play them offline. So when the servers go down for any reason, maintenance or the crashes, or it's like 20 years later and no one cares anymore, you just gone. You can't play it by yourself. It's when the servers go down, these are coasters, like I just said. Which is kind of sad, but there you go. After this though, I think does ESO still do physical boxes? I think maybe. I swear. But that's that. I actually have quite a few physical PC games, which again are most of them get registered through Steam anyway, so it's just collector's pieces, really. But again, that's kind of my thing. So I mean, yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. Of course, like I say, I played Rift as well. I played the Old Republic for a while, and still, I'm like, I like Star Wars, but if you're a free-to-play member, don't bother. Which is why I did. So, which I'm not even sad about. Sort of like side note here, bit of a pet peeve of mine when it comes to MMOs. A lot of them, of course, have a free-to-play model now that you can just play for free, and there's going to be a lot of microtransactions there and there to try to compensate for that. Because if they just give away the game for free, but it's not free to run the servers. It's not free to make content. Like, money's going to come from somewhere. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I'm not even that sad that a lot of companies nickel and dime the free-to-play members. They shouldn't nickel and dime the premium, the subscribers. That I do not agree with, of course. But like, if you complain that the sort of, hey, can you can you buy some small things in the store or whatever, and even if they limit you in some ways, right? I still don't think that's the worst thing ever, because like, no, you are not equal to the people that actually are paying monthly. That's the fact. This dude over here bought the game, and he's actually buying a subscription, and you're not. This dude is actively funding the game, and you're not. You are not equal, and especially not in their eyes. Just being honest. I damn near expect to be treated as shit if I am a free-to-play member. That's the truth. It's a really cold truth. Call it a hot take. I don't think it is, but some people might disagree. So, after that sort of mini rant, if you want to call it that, I'll bid you good day. See you guys. Take it easy.